Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. And it is that time again, the most eagerly anticipated weekend. Everybody loves to look forward to. The football season is back, and the EFL Championship is, of course, back as well. We are going to predict, or I'm going to attempt to predict the fixtures of week one in the EFL Championship. The fixtures are going across the bottom of your screen. Please get your predictions in the comments section down below. So we will start with obviously the game on Friday evening, and it is Huddersfield Town against Burnley. Yes, this is Friday night. This is the first match of the new season. Huddersfield, of course, well, they have lost Carlos Corberan just before the season starts, and they've got a very inexperienced manager coming in. Burnley, well, they've got a different style of play. They've got a new manager as well in Vincent Kompany. And most of their Premier League squad is kind of gone. Like they've been mostly released as well. I think this will be a very, very open game. I think this is going to be a very, very close one as well. I can't separate them. First game, it takes a little bit of time to sort of assess how each team will do. Anyway, I expect both of these guys to have a good season, but I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I'm going to go for Huddersfield 1, Burnley 1. We've now got Blackburn Rovers against QPR. Blackburn Rovers are now managed, of course, by Jon Dahl Tomasson, ex-Newcastle United and ex-AC Milan striker. Of course, QPR are also newly managed. They are newly managed by Michael Beale, who was Steven Gerrard's assistant at both Rangers and Aston Villa. So it remains to be seen how well he will do. Blackburn have made some interesting signings. They have lost a few key players as well. Joe Rothwell, Lenihan as well. They've lost both of them. QPR have made some interesting signings. So I'm going to go for the home team in this one. I think Blackburn will get that victory, and I am going to go for a 2-1 win to Blackburn Rovers. Two sides who I expect to struggle this season: Blackpool against Reading. Blackpool now managed by Michael Appleton, Reading managed by Paul Ince. Both of these sides, I expect to struggle. I expect to struggle. Blackpool have brought in, obviously, Reece Williams from Liverpool. Going to be very interesting to see how well they do. Can Gary Medine get the goals? That is another thing altogether. Reading have made some interesting signings, haven't they? Shane Long back at Reading. Can he get the goals to keep Reading up? I'm not so sure. Jeff Hendrick has signed. Paul Ince, of course, being manager, has obviously signed his son, Tom Ince, as well. Very difficult one to call, as it is obviously the opening weekend. I'm going to go for a Blackpool win. I'm going to go for a very narrow 1-0 victory to Blackpool. And now we have Cardiff City against relegated Norwich City. Of course, Cardiff City, well, they've signed almost a full team, haven't they? Loads of good players in there. Jack Alnick, Shea Ojo, just a few to mention. Norwich City have got most of their squad from the Premier League. Timu Pukki is still at the club at this moment in time. Will he still be there by the start of the season? That remains to be seen. Very difficult one to call because Cardiff City will be wanting a better season. I expect them to have a better season. Norwich City, everyone will be expecting them to probably be at the top end of the championship table. I'm going to go for a Norwich City win. I think they will scrape the win here. I'm going to go Cardiff City 1, Norwich City 2. And now we have two sides who, again, I expect to struggle this time around. Hull City against Bristol City. Quite interesting, this one, actually. Hull City, it's going to be very, very intriguing to see what Shota Arveladze is going to do with this squad. They are the biggest spenders in the championship. So I think all the pressure is definitely on Hull. Bristol City still managed by Nigel Pearson, of course. It remains to be seen how well he will be able to do with this with this squad as well. It is at the KCOM Stadium. I'm going to go for Hull City to win this one. I'm going to go for them to have a good start to the season. Hull City 2, Bristol City 0. Luton Town against Birmingham City. Well, I expect one of these to have a good season, and I expect the other one to potentially be in a relegation battle. Luton Town, of course, they had a very good season last season, managing to get to the playoffs. I thought they were unlucky. I thought they were unlucky against Huddersfield. I thought they were probably the better team in that playoff. Unlucky to go out. Birmingham City has been a change of owners, of course. Maxi Lopez managing a consortium that is now taken over Birmingham City. But whether or not that is enough to keep them up will be very interesting. They have signed experienced goalkeeper, of course, John Ruddy from Wolves. So that could be a very, very inspired signing as well. I'm going to go for Luton Town to win this one. No, I feel that they are better than Birmingham City. But you can never tell on the first weekend. You always seem to get some strange results anyway. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Luton Town in that one. Millwall against Stoke City. This is a very tricky one to call because both of these sides have lost key players, I'd have to say. Millwall, with obviously losing Jed Wallace. Stoke City losing Joe Allen as well. So could be a very, very interesting one, this one. I expect both of these sides to have okay seasons. They'll survive comfortably. There's no chance of these sides being in any relegation battle whatsoever. Stoke City have obviously bolstered with the signing of Dwight Gale. I think that is a very, very good signing for Stoke City. He will definitely score goals in the Championship. Whether or not he scores enough to have Stoke up high above the table is another matter. But tricky one to call, this one. I'm going to go for a draw in the first game of the season. Millwall 1, Stoke City 1. Rotherham United against Swansea City. Rotherham have managed to get up to the Championship yet again. Swansea City will be wanting a better season under Russell Martin. They have bolstered with the signings of Joe Allen as well. Joe Allen back at Swansea. As well. I think it's going to be a long season for Rotherham United, but if they can get points at the New York Stadium, then you see what happens there. But I feel Swansea have got a better midfield, and I think they've got a better attack than defence, and obviously goalkeeper as well. Rotherham, for me, I think they are in for a long season. I'm going to go for a Swansea away win for the first game of the season. I'm going to go for Rotherham 1, Swansea City 3. And now we have Wigan against Preston North End. Wigan, another one of the newly promoted sides, managing to get up as well. I expect Wigan to have a good season, especially Charlie Wyke. I think that is going to be very, very good. And they are building a team there. Preston, they're one of my dark horses for this season. I also feel that they could potentially be having a good season. Some very, very good signings. Troy Parrott from Tottenham on a loan deal. Ben Woodburn from Liverpool as well. It's a very, very good side that Preston have got there. And, they have let a few key players go. Scott Sinclair was one of those ones to leave on a free as well. But I'm going to go for the away side in this one. I think Preston will get the first win of the new season. I'm going to go for Wigan Athletic 0, Preston North End 2. And we move into the Saturday evening game with a tasty-looking tie between Middlesbrough and West Brom. Middlesbrough under the stewardship of Chris Wilder. West Brom under the stewardship of Steve Bruce. Now, well, no matter what you can say about West Brom being very, very poor under Bruce last season, they've made some interesting signings. Jed Wallace is definitely a very, very good signing for West Brom, and I think they will do well this season. Middlesbrough have obviously bolstered with the signing of Zach Steffen on a season-long loan from Manchester City. So it could be an interesting season for both of these sides. Again, a very, very tough, tricky one to call, as it is the first opening game of the season. I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I'm going to go for Middlesbrough 1, West Brom 1. And we have the newly promoted Sunderland against Coventry City. Sunderland, obviously, they are up into the Championship with the stewardship of Alex Neil, of course. So going to be very, very interesting to see how well he will do. Coventry, managed by Mark Robbins, of course. One player to watch out for Sunderland is definitely Ross Stewart. Very, very good striker. The Loch Ness Drogba is what they like to call him down on Wearside, it has to be said. But this is a very tricky one to call. It is on Sky. It is on Sky. It is the noon kickoff on Sunday. So it should be a very, very interesting game between these two. I'm going to go for the newly promoted side to win this one. I think Sunderland will win their first game back into the Championship. I'm going to go for Sunderland 2, Coventry City 1, and a very tasty looking tie on Monday evening. Watford against Sheffield United. Watford got most of their players from the Premier League season when they got relegated. Ismaila Sarr is still there. Emmanuel Dennis is still there. So they've still got some very, very good players to watch out for as well. But the one thing as well, will Sarr and Dennis be there by the end of the transfer window? That could be interesting. Sheffield United, of course, have been very, very good. Under Paul Heckingbottom, they actually played some very good football last season. And they were very unfortunate not to be in the playoffs this time around. Watford have obviously got a new manager in Rob Edwards. I think Watford really need to start well for them to have any chance to get back up into the Premier League, of course. And we all know what Watford are like with sacking managers as well. I'm going to go for the Blades in this one, believe it or not. I'm actually going to go for the Blades to carve out a 1-0 win over Watford. I'm going to go for Watford 0, Sheffield United 1. So there are my predictions for Championship Week 1. I will go for my predictions very, very quickly, and then you guys get your predictions in the comment section down below. So I'm going to go for Huddersfield Town 1, Burnley 1. Now, there will be a watch-along for that game Friday. There will be a watch-along for that game, so look out for that one. And then we move into the Saturday games. Blackburn 2, QPR 1, Blackpool 1, Reading 0. Cardiff City 1, Norwich City 2, Hull City 2, Bristol City 0, Luton Town 2, Birmingham City 1, Millwall 1, Stoke City 1, Rotherham 1, Swansea City 3, Wigan Athletic 0, Preston North End 2, Middlesbrough 1, West Brom 1, Sunderland 2, Coventry City 1, and Watford 0, Sheffield United 1. So that's what I think. Get your predictions down in the comments section down below. And I'm looking forward to bringing more Championship content on this channel. And please consider subscribing, because that's the only way that you can get all this content on this channel. And consider hitting that notifications bell so you don't miss an upload on this channel as well. And the last thing I ask you to do before leaving the video, please give it a like. It does help the channel as well. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Get your predictions down in the comment section for the first opening weekend of the 22-23 Championship season. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.